The Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, may no longer dominate headlines, but that is exactly why you should pay attention. It is no longer an announcement. It is a system. Launched in 2013, China's BRI began with hard infrastructure, ports, railways, highways, pipelines. The goal was simple: connect China more directly to the world. 10 years later, the BRI has expanded into more than 150 countries, with over $1 trillion in cumulative investment. But now, it is entering a new phase. And this one is quieter, deeper, and more strategic. Today's BRI is not just about moving containers. It is about building the OS of global trade. That means digital infrastructure, financial rails, smart city systems, and frameworks for how goods, services, data, and even capital will move in the next 10 to 20 years. And if you are in Singapore, that shift should matter deeply. Let us break down the evolution. In the first phase, China built roads, ports, and bridges, mostly in emerging markets. These were not just aid projects. They were strategic nodes that reduced dependency on traditional trade routes, especially those influenced by the United States or European Union. But that phase had limits. Some countries got into debt, others could not complete the projects, and geopolitics started pushing back. So China adapted. It shrank the projects, made them more modular, and more importantly, it began exporting ideas, software, and systems. Today, China is embedding itself through digital agreements, smart grid tech, fintech partnerships, and data governance structures. It is offering smart city blueprints to Africa, AI-enabled infrastructure to Southeast Asia, blockchain-based customs clearance in Central Asia. This is a different game, and it does not need to make noise to make impact. So what does this mean for Singapore? It means we are at a fork in the road. ASEAN is deep in the game. Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and even Vietnam, they have all signed new BRI MOUs recently. While Singapore still holds a seat at the table, we are not moving as fast, and that comes with risk. Because our strength is not ports or factories. Our strength is trust, legal trust, financial trust, regulatory clarity, and neutral credibility. China needs all of that badly. BRI deals are long-term. They involve complex terms, cross-border risk, and third-party trust structures. Singapore is perfectly placed to be the default jurisdiction for deal structuring, arbitration, fund flows, and back-end compliance. But that edge only works if we claim it now, before others catch up. There is another layer to this. Many BRI countries do not fully trust China either, but they trust the deal more than the alternatives. That is where Singapore comes in again, as the bridge. Not politically, but operationally. We help the deal work, quietly. And that is the key to this entire moment. The BRI is not being shouted about anymore because it does not need to be. It is becoming infrastructure, like roads, like water. You do not see it, but you rely on it. And the players who structure it, the consultants, trade lawyers, fintech integrators, and logistics firms, are going to be the ones riding the most stable long-term wave out there. Here's what is next. The BRI's new goals are smart. It wants to create a digital corridor that can plug emerging economies into China's ecosystem. That means data sharing agreements, standardized customs platforms, carbon tracking systems, and even eRMB gateways. China is already piloting this with partners in Africa and Central Asia, and ASEAN is on the list. Singapore could be the tech hub and neutral validator for these systems. That means business for our firms, not just in implementation, but in monitoring, auditing, localizing, and improving these systems. And if we do it right, we do not just benefit once. We become the default service layer every BRI partner needs. But if we wait, that window closes. China will fill that back end with whoever shows up, and once those rails are built, they will not be replaced easily. The trust layer is being laid now. So what is the move? If you are in law, fintech, trade logistics, regional compliance, or B2B tech, this is your signal. Do not think of the BRI as too big. Think of it as infrastructure being laid, and someone needs to design, secure, and optimize every inch of that flow. Singaporeans have done this before, quietly, professionally, efficiently. We can do it again, but not later now. If you have been following these shifts and want daily updates on what is really happening, not just what the headlines say, I post verified insights inside a private Telegram group, focused entirely on the real China moves that matter for Singaporeans. Drop a comment with Ian if you would like to join and get access to updates that do not make the news but shape the next wave. Stay